would share with you poems about the New Year that are, yes, in the book, Every Event of the Year, Volume 1, January through June. Writing a poem every day of the year allows you to look for holiday things, and so on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I saw that different Christmas islands were discovered by Britain. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to write about Christmas islands these days. But anywho, these relate to the New Year. And this first one is titled Everyone Celebrates Together. I've always been the one to plan everything, and I know I wanted to celebrate on New Year's Eve. It's weird to think that ancient calendars used the beginning of time for the vernal equinox in March. And it's weirder still that the celebration actually started in 2000 BC in Mesopotamia in Iraq. But even though there are different calendars, other cultures use different calendar dates and celebrate the New Year on different days, Ethiopians celebrate by rain on September 11th. And the New Year, and for the Thai New Year, people splash blessing water on April 13th. The Chinese New Year is the lunar calendar, with lion and dragon dancings, drum, fireworks, and more. And all of this is done in warning red for good luck for the new year. Some countries even celebrate by running into water, freezing cold water. I've seen this New Year's polars plunge done repeatedly and topped with remembering the past and celebrating the future. But yeah, I was really used to planning absolutely everything for New Year's, and I just decided one December, I said, look, I'm tired of coming up with a plan for New Year's. And I told someone else to just come up with a plan. Being a Midwesterner, a Chicagoan, someone looked at me and said, let's go see the ball drop in New York City. He didn't have a plan of where to stay, he just said it. And my first impulse was to think that this was ludicrous. It was too far away. We have no place to stay. But then I gave it a second thought. Salespeople in my company sell in New York. Maybe I could, float this idea around to some people, and maybe somebody could actually, give me a place to stay, and I could actually pull this off. After I mentioned this to just one salesperson that I never met in person, they had invited me to stay at their home in Connecticut. And then we'd travel into the city by train with her son. And we'd celebrate with her friends for New Year's. One phone call was all it took. And then we were just planning ourselves. We knew that we'd have to be road tripping to New York to watch the ball drop in Times Square. And in times like these, you have to remember that when we celebrate, everyone is instantly your friend. My coworker brought me into the Chrysler building so I could see the view from our company's Manhattan office, where I actually was the only time that I actually took a photograph of the World Trade Center towers buildings. These two, the things that you really only think about when times are bad. But no, this wasn't a time this was actually a time for sightseeing. And people complain about the traffic in New York, but it didn't seem much different from Chicago. And on this one trip, the roads were my friends, and we got along just fine. But forget the car when it comes to New Year's Eve. My coworker's son, his name was Trip. And he took me for a trip of my own with new friends, new streets, and a new town. And we found a perfect spot for a perfect view for seeing the ball drop. And on this one night, we were all screaming together. We were all celebrating together, and we were all stuck together. And we were even leaning on each other for a nap on the train ride home. Because maybe it's worth it to work on that bucket list of yours, even if you don't have one. Because sometimes one of the things that may just come off as an off-the-hand suggestion, it could be something that you really wanted to try, something you never think you could do before. It might amount to actually meeting tons of new people for moments that you'll never forget. And remember, with these festivities, everyone can celebrate together. this one for the idea of new, and this one is called A New Life. A new life, a bundle of joy, your flesh, your blood, your love, your life. This little child, the individual, is still an extension of you. A new life, a bundle of joy, your hair, your eyes, your laugh, your cry. This little child, a separate life, is still an extension of you. A new life, a bundle of joy, a bundle of you, mirroring your smile, reflecting your love, being your life. This little child, this life that's new, will always be an extension of you. And this last one, written on the first of the year, it's called Check Your Clock. We spend our lives planning rituals, celebrating holidays, remembering birthdays, marking every passing year. The human animal is the only animal to grasp time this way, counting anniversaries and fearing the forward march. Do we forget to take stock? Do we wonder if we should surge ahead to create new goals as we race through life's linear maze? Check your clock. That's what we humans do. Go ahead, look back, but don't sit still too long, because time won't stop to wait for you to catch up. Thank you.